get started with Steph. What you got for us?
So tonight's topic is after the wedding bells and the hashtags are over, what do you really have? Underscore. Comparison is the thief of joy. I'm going to pass it off to Tia. We're going to talk about how this topic came to be and why we chose it.
Well, I can remember far back, I would say the early 2000s. Like, I really can't really discuss or talk about like our how our parents presented their wedding, or their grandparents presented their wedding. We might seen pictures or whatever growing up, but I just noticed about early 2000s on, everybody is like into who got the best hashtag, or who has the biggest trailer video, and everybody is so focused on the wedding. And it's like, I've seen countless of times where people spend all this money on the wedding, you know, excited through the process, and then it's like, what happens after the hashtags and the wedding bells? You know, I see a lot of competition. Some people attend other people's weddings or events to one up them, to try to see if they could do better. And weddings to me have turned more from celebration of love in the beginning of one's journey of forever to a competition. Oh, you have this on your centerpiece, then I gotta have this with lights and bells and everything. Oh, you got 5 bridesmaids and groomsmen, now I got 30. You know, it just seemed like that it turned from a celebration of love to a competition. I don't know on y'all timelines, but I know for sure on our timelines, when you're watching people get married and you see people events. So that's where this topic kind of came about. I just feel like people weddings today are more of competition than a celebration of the beginning of someone's journey of forever. And that's what it should be about. But you know, everybody got a hashtag, everybody got this. So we just wanted to kind of like talk about this topic. And you can share your thoughts on what do you feel like weddings are today, or based off what you see. You know, you can put your personal feelings in if you like, but this topic came about based off what we found or saw on social media. Like it's like, oh, everybody gotta be glamorous and carried in on a red carpet, or have kings and queens holding them up coming. Like, it's just like, it's been more about stuff and decorations and glam. So that's how we came about this topic.
True. And don't forget, this is an open forum, it's an open platform. So comment below your thoughts on this topic, or how you feel, your personal experiences. Just keep that in mind. And if you find value in anything, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. Some of the stuff that I've seen, at least into the second part of this, is the personal shade that we've gotten in the like subliminal post about, you know, stuff or whatever. Like, I posted one time about, we see y'all just started dating, y'all exchanging rings, like, why don't y'all get to know each other, something weird. It was kind of like, okay, like, why don't you worry about, you know, your relationship and focus on you, your relationship and your personal growth. Meanwhile, the person who's posted stuff like that has been in several relationships since then, and I think might be single. I don't know. I can't keep up with other people's stuff. But it's just like that energy that you're worried about what somebody else is doing in their relationship. Why don't you apply those same things for you, your personal growth, and put that same energy into your relationship? Then maybe you would be in a better predicament. I mean, it's really kind of sad sometimes. But what people don't know about us is that, okay, we went to Busch Gardens in June 2016, and we got married that following August. See, June, July, August, okay, maybe 2.5 months later. Okay, but what a lot of people don't realize that we knew each other for 3 years prior to that and had kept in contact. You know, people always talk about move in silence and don't put your business out there. hello. I mean, we wasn't talking the whole time, but like we kept in contact as friends. You know, we hung out a little bit. As friends. Nothing crazy, nothing shady. You know, we had other situationships going on in the meantime. We were just there for each other as friends and coworkers, just to, that's what you do, right? And so it may appear to be fast, and it may appear to be like, oh my God, it's so quick. Like, I can't believe it. I mean, it wasn't the grand scheme of things, but it's not like we just met in June and got married in August. Like, we've known each other for years. So I just want to put that out there, for context purposes, so people worry about what we're doing. I mean, it did happen quick. And we're not advocating, like, go run and get married in 2 months. If works for you, works for you. Each timeline is different. But at the end of the day, our hashtag and our wedding bells are over 2 times now. Got married in the courthouse and then had a actual wedding on our 2-year anniversary. And what do we have, babe?
We have a foundation of love and commitment. I'm big on love. I'm big on true love. That's how SNK came about, of advocating for true love and, self-love. We talk about stuff for couples. We talk about stuff for singles. We talk about stuff for like healing yourself from all your own issues. But what we have is a solid foundation. We work hard to have what we have.
True.
We communicate, and we work on communication. We read books together. We do activities together. We make time for each other. If you go back and watch yesterday's video, we share with you our tough times in the beginning when it came to time and spending quality time. So go watch that replay. So after our hashtags and wedding bells, we have a solid foundation, a solid relationship. Even though many people, based off their personal religious beliefs, feel what we have is not real, but it's actually realer than most people who claim to have happy relationships in marriage. And I'm not tooting our own horn. I know it because I'm in it and I'm putting the work in. Like I said yesterday, and I'll repeat this statement, some people have been together for so many years and share space, but many people are not in relationships all that time. I can happily say that she and I have been married for 3 years. We have not been just sharing space. And a lot of people, I think they share space versus building their marriage. Okay. It takes daily work. Like, we put in work. Do we have disagreements? Absolutely. Do we have days where we get on each other's nerves? Absolutely. We not know better. I'm not going to say we're better than anybody else, but what I will say is, from just knowing certain people, most people have those issues, but don't try to work it out.
They suffer through
them. They unhappy. They are not trying to work towards a better marriage or a better relationship, So I feel like what we have is very solid. And I love what we have. And I love the fact that I'm with someone that loves me just as much as I love them, that want what we have and don't mind expressing it. It's hard being, like, for me, I've known that I like women all my life since I was a kid. And to be with someone who's unsure of themselves is tough. I've been there. That's why a couple of my other relationships didn't last, because the person that I was with was unsure of themselves and worried more about what other people thought than worrying about building us. Right. So to have someone that, that's excited to be with you is a great thing.
For sure. So yeah, stop comparing yourself to others.
Yeah.
To focus on you. Do what's going to work best for you. Learn to take advice from, like we said this yesterday too, from some of your seasoned people. And learn to take advice from people who have failed relationships. They can tell you what they did and be like, look, I screwed up, or I should have left, or they should have left, or, those could be some solid stuff. 2 people say, how come you're single, you can't give advice? Well, they can give you some advice on what not to do or what to do based off of what they didn't do, and look how it worked out for them. So just keep that in mind as well. This brings us to our last point. Just make sure you meet the real person along the journey. You know, people get caught up in planning their wedding, because wedding planning is fun. You know, especially when you got money and it's not like super stressful. Like we are fortunate in the way that we planned ours. We planned ours so far in advance that we didn't really have a budget. We just said, how much does it cost? Okay, we're gonna save and make it happen, and we did. Cashed out, no debt, didn't have to pay off nothing, and that's how it works. So it was fun. I mean, we kind of knew within limits, like, I'm not paying that, like, that's ridiculous, you know, that type of thing. But if we saw something we wanted and the price was reasonable, we made it happen. But, you know, it's fun. You get caught up in that, picking out stuff, and you really learn a lot about your significant other during this time with how they handle stress, because Murphy's Law happens in weddings all the time. What can go wrong might go wrong, probably will go wrong. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, and all the things that did not go right with their wedding planning, despite the 18 months it took us to plan it. You would think by that everything be perfect. No. So you learn a lot. How to handle stress. How do you handle disappointment? How do you handle the excitement? Or how do you handle it? You know what? Is this really the smartest decision for us in the long run? You know, all the things they do. They come out during wedding planning, or they should. If you really allow yourselves to feel what it is that you need to feel, and experience what you need to experience, and just fully submerge yourself into it. I know some people have gotten really good at masking how they feel, or masking things, or just kind of going through the motions, or, you know, a yes man or a no man. In those situations, I wouldn't say apply. You got to step out of those and really just get to know each other and appreciate each other.
Appreciating each other is very important, and appreciating what the other person brings to the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's tough for me, you know, when you are very independent and you're a very strong-willed and strong-minded person. Allowing someone to just take the lead sometimes, and you just, you know, relax, it's tough. And having someone that truly has your back with no strings attached, it's an adjustment to get used to.
Yeah, sure.
So definitely, you need to know who you're getting involved with.
Absolutely.
And I just ask the hard questions up front. Like, you don't want to be planning a wedding with someone. And you haven't asked your deal breaker. The hard questions up front to me are your deal breakers. Will people always be honest up front? No. But actions speak louder than words. So, you know, what worked for us might not work for you. Like, when we do these videos, we're just sharing our experiences and what worked for us. You could try it. If it don't work for you, it don't work for you. We're not saying this is it.
Or things we've heard. People share stuff with us, encouraged us along the way. And we're energy people, so some people I take advice from, some people I don't. It has nothing to do with how long you've been in marriage, how long you've been in a relationship. I don't go off that type of stuff. I go off the energy of the person. You know, because sometimes people will tell you, oh, that person not good for you. Don't be with them. And the next thing you know, you listen to them, and now they in their inbox or DM or in their face physically trying to get with them. So sometimes people give you advice to turn you away so they can get their chance. Like, that's true.
You know,
That's a very good point.
So, like, what do you have after the wedding bells and hashtags? You know, these are the questions we want you to comment. Like, what do you feel like your relationship is after the wedding bells and hashtags? Are you and that person still together? Because some people get married and a year later they divorce. You know, for various reasons. You know, they didn't do their homework up front. They just got caught up.
Ignored some severe
in the
red
clouds.
flags.
And one thing I can say about us, while we were well in the clouds with each other, we still were as well aware of habits and behaviors. And it's tough. It's tough to, like, be up here but still be down here at the same time. You have to do both, because that will, you know, get you caught up. There are some things that I did. I learned about self after coming down off that, cloud nine high. And it doesn't mean that you don't love the person any less. It is now meaning that you're out of the clouds and really seeing the person for who they are. The stuff that I recognize is not nothing that I'm not willing to deal with, but you learn some things.
That's true.
Also, I just say be open and honest about everything up front. Like, don't be hiding stuff from people. This is people's hearts. These are people's feelings. That's someone's life, that you're prolonging or progressing. You can either one, so be honest.
Yeah. Make sure you time to bond. We gave some ideas with that yesterday as well, so go back and check that out. Just make sure you spend time with each other. Quality time is very important. And like real quality time, not just, hey, I'm just chilling. Like actually activities to get to know each other and to grow and to push each other and to, we'll kind of foster team building. At the end of the day, you're in a relationship, but it's a team. It's a team of two. And yeah, when you look at it that way, you're only as strong as your weakest player. So you definitely want to engage in activities that are going to strengthen that bond and the trust and all that stuff too. It's important.
It's very important. Your first time of quality time shouldn't be your honeymoon. And if it is, that's a problem. Because I think that's what happens. People like going to work, taking care. Some people already have children coming into marriages and all of that. And all they do is plan a wedding and then you get married to a person you really don't know. And when I say really don't know, it's not a length of time. Like, when we decided to get married in that short period of time, we knew what we wanted. We both knew. Like, I already knew what I wanted. And some of the things she did for me prior to us ever getting into a relationship, I knew that she was what I wanted. We knew. You feel it. Does it happen like that for everybody? Absolutely not. But we both had a rule, and we addressed that rule up front. We would not be no one's long-term girlfriend. We refuse.
Put some respect
Like,
on my
at least
name.
a year, you should be knowing whether you want to marry that person. You don't have to get married in a year, but you should know. Like, engagement should be in that next year and a half time frame. At least
a conversation.
At least a conversation.
Like, I want to marry you, but I want to finish school first. I want to marry you.
Everybody's situation is different.
But yeah, the conversation, you at least know where you stand. So it's not like wondering, is he going to propose or does she want to be with me? It'll be none of that because you should have open communication and talk about it.
I just personally feel if you were that person that been with somebody 10 years and y'all just got married, there are no specific times. We just knew for us. I'm not 10 years and you ain't. Like, I can't do that.
That's true.
That I was in 2 long-term relationships prior to our relationship that I stayed too long. Like, the relationship, when it ended, when it was that first split and it was done then, we just came back together and wasted each other's time, pretty much. So I wasted a lot of my adult life just hanging around and honing in on someone's potential versus accepting reality.
Ooh, that potential. That's a whole conversation for another video.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to go deep.
No, I know. But, ooh, Jesus. Yeah.
So,
that potential will get you stuck.
Like,
that's what goes back to getting to know the real person, not the potential that you see or the, people always put their best foot forward in the beginning. They're going to show you the best of them. And sometimes masking who they really are. And sometimes it is what they are. And sometimes you get caught up on, excuse me, what happens in the beginning. I had a former friend like that who got hung up on. He treated her well for maybe the first 6 months. And for the next 7 years, it was hell. And she hung on to those first 6 months until she finally was like, you know what? Enough is enough.
And don't allow good sex to keep you around either. Because I see people get caught up like, ooh, girl, he do me right. Or, ooh, girl, she do me right. Or a dude be like, yo, I don't know what about Shawty. But, because women do men wrong too. It's not just men. Since I know some women is. I'm like, bruh, you need to let go.
Yeah, it's true.
But We always think it's just men. People always speak bad about men. Women are just vindictive and devious as men are, if not worse sometimes. You know, so
true.
You should know what your marriage gonna be like, or at least look like, after those hashtag and wedding bells. You don't know specifics because you don't know what the future holds, but you should have a plan. You definitely should have a plan, because I just see a lot of people in competition with each other, trying to one up on marriages. These weddings are getting more ridiculous, and I'm not celebrities that they got it and flaunt it, but these everyday people who maxing out credit cards and going in debt even more to have a better wedding than the next person. Like, we knew what we wanted, we did what we wanted, and we not in debt. We owe no one, and that's how we wanted to be. Like, everything we had was not a one-upper to no one else. Because I think at that point, I had personally been to only one other LGBT wedding other than my own prior to us getting married. And then I went to a few afterwards. But other than that, so you know what I'm saying? All we saying is, the recap is, bond with the person, know who you marrying, spend quality time prior to the wedding bells and the hashtag, and ensure that's the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, even down to the little quirks, because it's those little quirks that cause big problems.
Sure can.
Are you going to be okay with her hair in the sink for the rest of your life, or him leaving toothpaste in the sink, or her leaving shoes all around the house, or her, you know, leaving drawers that, you know, people got some weird habits, but it's those little quirks that can ruin marriages. It's not the big stuff. Like, we talk about finances and all of that, but can you handle that?
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say on this topic.
I'm done too.
Yeah, comment below your thoughts, your experiences, suggestions, anything that you want to hear us talk about. Let us maybe answer some questions for you, give you another side of things. If you don't feel comfortable dropping it below, you can always send us a message, and we'll never really say who told us, unless you want the world to know, but we'll keep it anonymous, especially if you inbox us. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass that to Katia so she can end it like she ends everything.
You are the master of your destiny. You control your future. Do something daily to get you closer to your goals. We love you from S&K.
Good night.